as to the voter turnout of a day. It means for somebody to intercept that system, they must have information in relation to the voter turnout of that day. It may not be practical for somebody to say that they have the capacity to know the voter turnout throughout the country at the second at which they want to intercept a particular form transmitted. Again, if we exceed the number of people who voted, then again, from an accountability perspective, it would be very easy to point out to say, because of the fact of this interference, you've exceeded the numbers of what was captured in your report. To give further comfort, this transmission is done over a virtual private network, which is provided by the mobile network operators, who themselves also secure that environment to ensure that there is no intrusion or interference coming from any quarter into the system. For a good, perhaps, mental understanding of what this means, or how this was applied, Michael Ouma in his affidavit says that there were more than 380 million hits on trying to, just to access the public portal. And that according to him, none of the systems even blinked. That is how secure that environment is. Now, the other question that somebody would want to look at in relation to Article 86 is the compliance with the provisions, statutory provisions in relation to procurement and all those. Again, I invite you, my ladies and my lords, to look at paragraph 64 to 71 of the affidavit of Michael Ouma. He then ends at saying that close of business, more than 14,239 people were successfully identified through that system. He describes it, to use his words, as a military-grade system. That is how comfortable he is with that, with the security features of that system. I come to the second question, which is whether there was interference with uploading and transmission of Forms 34A from the polling stations to the IBC public portal. The emphatic answer is no. I have given a general description of the infrastructure that was laid out. I will take a few moments to demonstrate that it wasn't possible to get into that system, and that even if somebody attempted to get into the system, then it would have been noticeable, to again speak to the fact of verifiability, and that one would be able to pick that with pinpoint precision because of the manner in which the system works. For purposes of a clear understanding, it is purely because of that verifiability that we are able to hear our colleagues appearing on this other side for the petitioners saying that they saw a gentleman called so-and-so who accessed the system. So-and-so accessed the system because of verifiability. It means that those who were able to access the system must have been people who were then authenticated to access the system, because certainly you must get some human intervention if the system is to work. To this extent, we'll then invite you to look at the affidavit of Hilda Kavonga. Hilda Kavonga is the manager security and business continuity. Again, Hilda confirms emphatically that the system was not breached. She speaks at paragraph 7 in good detail about how robust that system was. I invite you, my ladies and my lords, to look at the structure of that infrastructure and just appreciate for yourselves how then it was secure for purposes of protecting the will of Kenyans. At paragraph 12, she even goes on to give security assurance through certification from the National Institute of Standards and Technology. Now, we look at this in relation to the allegations that have been made. There is an allegation about staging Learned Counsel, Senior Counsel Philip Murgo